Stu here with Raid Shadow Legends to go over all the new champions we're going to get in patch 2.1, which will be in July sometime. So it's not that far away. We don't know if it's early July, mid-July, late July. Who knows? But we're going to get the Bazaar then, and then we're also going to get these champions here, from what I understand, right? So that will be a nice addition to the game. Then we can move forward and see what else we can get in here. The login rewards are something that I don't really care so much about the champions. I'm very happy that this game does do cool champions. I think Sile the Drakes was the best one that they've done yet. Very, very good champion. It does take a long time to get it. These are going to take even longer to get, but a lot of these have increased faction crypts for auras. So maybe these are really going to be good in faction crypts for us. We're going to go over all their skills and abilities and talk about what they can do. But what I like about the login rewards are the additional energy that we get. I really want to see that. I kind of don't mind just a normal 30-day login reward that repeats itself every month. So we log in, we know we're going to get energy maybe on, they can set it up for Fridays and Saturdays to give us additional energy. So over the weekend we have more energy for events or whatever we're doing. Because that way you're busy during your work week. Maybe then you can enjoy the game and play it more. I want to see more energy in the game, right? I want to see more energy in the game for all of us out there, free-to-play players, even spenders. It doesn't matter to me. Just more energy so people can enjoy the game and take part in the events that are going on. Make sure they get those rewards and have some fun with the game. So I think that's good. Gems in there monthly would be really good. A normal gacha turn-based game will have just a scrolling every month login that you log in, and then by day, you know, maybe you'll get like a void gem, a void shard by 15, and then you'll get a sacred by 30. But along the way, in the middle there, you'll get all the currencies. You'll get a nice amount of coin throughout the month. You'll get energy at certain days throughout there, and then you'll get some gems. So even if we just had that, I would be fine with that. That way it wouldn't drop off. It's always there. We know what to expect. But it is cool that we get those champions, so we'll take it, right? We'll take whatever we can get. Let's get into these champions and see what they are all about. So the first champion at 210 days is a Demon Spawn Force Epic Support Champion. Now keep in mind, it's not telling us what these damage are derived from, right? It's not saying is it based off of HP, is the damage based off of defense or attack. So we don't know that yet, but on this first champion right here, it does say ally HP is increased for the aura in faction wars by 30%. And I'm hoping from what these skills say for the moves that all the damage is based off of HP, because I believe we need it for this champion right here, this Demon Spawn. So the A1 attacks 2 times at random, right? At random is pretty weird for A1 attacks 2 times at random, heals allies by 3% of this champion's HP with each hit on targets under decreased speed debuff. So 3%, again, this champion will need to have high HP. That way we can get some good heals, 6% total off those 2 hits, as long as those targets that they hit are under decreased speed debuff. And then the A2 attacks 1 enemy, has a 50% chance to place the decreased speed debuff on a target for 2 turns, and then has a 50% chance to place 30% decreased speed debuff on all the enemies if this attack is a critical. Now remember as well that when we put books into these champions, I'm sure more than likely this will go up to a 75%, 80%, maybe even 100% chance to apply these. We don't have those details yet, so we're missing that as well. So this will be pretty cool. She can do it. She can attack one enemy, put a slow speed on everybody with a crit, and then heal. We'll have to see how that heal works out. Again, this champion for sure needs to have high HP, and then does damage based off of HP for it to really seem like a good champion. Because the passive here also decreases the damage the allies take by 5%. And this champion takes all that damage. So it could be a good champion. Could definitely be a good champion. We'll have to wait and see. So at day 240, we will get another one. This guy, Ogren Tribe Spirit Epic Defense Champion, it says. Again, it says defense. That does not mean the damage will be based off of defense. I hope it is, though. I really hope that this guy has high defense and the damage is based off of it because of these skills right here. Attack one enemy, has a 50% chance to place a leech for 2 turns on the A1. So that's good. We heal off of any damage we do to the enemy that has a leech on. We heal 18% of the damage. Plus, if we have War Master or Giant Slayer procs, we will heal even more from that. A huge amount, just like you do with Lifesteal gear right now. It is big. It's very big, good to have. And then the A2 here, this champion has 2 AoE attacks. Skill 2 attacks all enemies, has a 60% chance to place a decrease attack. That's very nice. That'll probably go up. And a 30% decrease crit damage for 2 turns. This one's pretty good because if we want to bring this into Ice Golem, even if you wanted to try to play this champion in the clan boss, you probably could, even though these are 2 AoE attacks. But for Ice Golem, it's really good to get that AoE decreased attack, decrease critical damage. Plus, that's not it. So on the A3, attacks all enemies, places a 15% continuous heal buff on all allies for 2 turns, and then places an additional 7.5% continuous heal on all allies for 1 turn if the enemy is hit, if any enemy is hit with a critical hit. So that's pretty easy to do, right? You just load it up. If any of the enemies that you hit is hit with a critical hit, you're going to get the 15% and you're going to get the 7.5. So a lot of healing going on, a lot of leech, and then decreased attack, decreased critical damage done. It's pretty nice. I think this champion will work out well, especially if it has high defense and it's based off of defense. That way we can try it in the clan boss, we could try it wherever else we want to go through, and it's not going to be a glass cannon. Obviously, it's not going to fall over. It'll be somebody that can take some hits, and then an ice golem, always that decreased attack helps out a lot. But remember, this is 240 day. These champions, it's going to be a long time for somebody to get here. So if they're not doing stage 20 of things by 240 day, I feel like they could be. I really feel like they could be, but I'm glad to see these champions come in here to at least help out those accounts who don't play that often, who aren't big grinders, and who just kind of log in, do a little bit of things here and there, and then have been here for so long, and then they get these champions, and hopefully they can help progress in the game with it, right? So then we have the 270 day champion. She is a dark elf, void legendary, and she looks amazing. Very amazing. Hers is, it says defense type again, right? And then it says increase defense in faction wars by 37% to all your allies. That's great. She's a dark elf faction wars, and even Ogre tribes actually. Ogre tribe faction wars with my 2 man eaters. If I go in there, my 2 unkillable team man eaters, if I put my accuracy banners on them and run through Ogre tribe 21, faction wars 21, I have no issue with the boss. They just keep it down, right? They just keep the boss turn meter down. We kill the whole things. You know, I bring in, obviously I have some other stronger Ogre tribe too. I have Bigot and whatever else, but you can do it with any kind of DPS. But we also have a Bellower, which we could use in there, which I do use in a stun set to go through there. So I don't think Ogre tribe is super hard to do, depending on, of course, always what champions you have, right? For the Dark Elves also have really good champions for faction crypts, but this one could help. Let's see what she's got. Again, she's a legendary champion, attacks 1 enemy 2 times. Each hit has an 80% chance, I'm sure that's going to go to 100, to decrease the turn meter by 10% and then fill her turn meter by that amount. It's off of both hits. So that'll be a 20% decrease and a 20% increase to this champion. Anytime we can decrease turn meter is amazing for everything in this game. Doesn't matter what it is, everything in this game, except for the clan boss, of course, or for dragon. We can't do it on the actual dragon itself. But then the A2 attacks all enemies, has a probably 100% chance to decrease speed debuff for 2 turns. Places a shield buff equal to 20% of this champion's max HP for 2 turns. So we're getting AoE, hopefully it does a lot of damage. I want a damage DPSer. I want somebody who can come in here and really wreck some damage. Has the A1 for the turn meter increase, gets that turn meter increase, gets rolling. And then the A3 places a provoke debuff on a target for 1 turn. Also places ally protection on all allies except this champion for 2 turns. Now we have a lot of ally protection champions. Sile the Drakes is amazing. She can revive and then put ally protect on that 1 champion. AoE stuns, you know, the turn meter on the A1, you know, I think she does turn meter reduction on A1 too. I can't remember, it's been a while since I looked at her, but then she's got the passive that heals along with putting the increased speed buff on somebody, on some random ally. This champion kind of feels like the same thing. Like it's going to carry you through there with the ally protection. I'm sure it's for 2 turns on a 3-turn cooldown. And then attacks all enemy, places a slow speed on there, and then puts a shield on herself. But what I'm hoping is this is more of a, you know, Sile the Drakes can do damage, can really do damage too. Based off of defense, that's great. Hopefully this one as well is based off of defense to make her really sturdy, and then that she can put out some damage. I'm hoping that her multipliers are high, and that she can do some serious damage on this AoE as well as all this other stuff. That way she can take the turns. And we're going to have another champion with a 2-turn ally protect for 3-turn cooldown. Which ally protect is amazing in the clan boss. It's amazing through anything. When they take 50% of the damage that champion is taking, it helps you out a lot. It helps you out get through a tremendous amount of content. So again, this is all fantastic things that have in the game. I'm very glad we're going to get this in 2.1 that's going to come out in July sometime, along with the Bazaar and whatever else we get. Also, so that we can move forward, right? So we can move forward onto maybe something really amazing. Maybe we can get a Void Tower, or we can get some new balancing going on. I'm going to be really surprised too if when 2.1 comes out, there's no additional balancing on any champions. I'll be really surprised. So I'm thinking they're going to balance, because they asked about balancing not too long ago, right? They asked what epics and what legendary champions really need some work done on them, and all the content creators as well as the mods gave them the, you know, all what most of the ones that people complain about. So I'm hoping to see some balancing done. We really need to see some balancing regularly, right, in the game. as often as possible. Get those, and even rares. I would like to see some rares brought up into the game to make them viable for people who are definitely free to play. You know how I love playing all those rare champions. I want to see more rares used. I really, really want to see that. And then, you know, whatever else. I don't see counterattack in here, though. Somebody mentioned that on the stream when we were reading over all of these when it came out last night. Where's the counterattack? We have 3 champions in the game with counterattack. Skull Crusher, we've got Martyr, and Valkyrie. 2 of those are legendary champions. Very hard to come by. Skull Crusher is a dream for so many people in this game. And people play this game for about a year and still don't have counterattack. We need somebody with a 2-turn counterattack on a 3-turn cooldown. That's a fusion, a new one. I prefer a new champion, right? Give us something a little bit different that has decent defense. Good enough defense that we can play an Ultra Nightmare Clan boss that we can take everywhere else in the game. We need that. I feel like this game is really lacking. At one time, they told us they would take care of that issue. That counterattack wasn't going to be that big of a thing in the game, and that they were either going to give us a fusion champion or they were going to do something about making sure that we'd either have counter or counter isn't going to be as powerful. And I kind of find that hard to, like, how do you make counterattack for a whole team not that powerful in something like the clan boss, you know? I find that hard to believe. And in general, we just need more ways to get that kind of a champion. We do, because it really helps you out. Even if you want to do, it slows you down in runs. You're not going to do speed runs with counterattack because it takes a lot of time to counterattack through there, but it will help you. If you're a newer player and you're lucky enough to pull Martyr or Valkyrie, they are crazy champions. It will help you get through anything in this game. Skull Crusher can help you as well. It can really help you out. Again, it's going to be slower runs, but something like Fire Knight, it's really good to have in early game, mid game. Great to have until you can actually progress far into late game and have a wonderful roster or fast enough, geared well enough champions like Cold Hearts and things of that nature. It's going to be kind of difficult to do high Fire Knight for a lot of people. It always has been. You know, we've given ideas and videos, tons of them out there with armor girs and everything else. So you do have options. It does take gear, right? But I would still like to see another counterattack in the game. I would definitely like to see this. But I'm excited for these champions. I'm excited really for the daily logins, again, for the energy. Give us that energy. I hope it's set up to give us the energy around the weekend time as login rewards. I hope we get gyms as login rewards. Sprinkle in some books in there, whatever they want to do. And then when this is over with, right, when the 270 days is over with, maybe they can go to a normal traditional, because they're giving us a lot of champions. That's great. Thank you. Appreciate it. Maybe they could go to a traditional 30-day login and we can just get, you know, a void shard, a sacred shard, some energy as often as possible, some gems, and then some rare or epic books if we're not going to get them in the bazaar. If they're going to be readily available to people in the game, then we don't need to have them as a 30-day login. We can have them, you know, we can obtain them other ways in the game. If it's easy to obtain them other ways in the game. Because some of these champions need so many damn books. I don't feel it's a bad idea to put it in a 30-day login, right? We don't need the champions anymore, just the same 30-day login every month. Books would be nice. Books would be really nice for that. But let me know your thoughts below. I appreciate all your time. Please subscribe if you have not, and I will see you guys all in a video soon.